Okay, welcome to art class. Today we are going to be doing some really beautiful leaves. So the first thing you're going to need to grab is paper, like the one I have here. This is just a simple piece of cardstock. You could just use regular lined paper, or you could even use copy paper. You're going to need a pencil that has a good point on it. You're going to need some crayons, possibly some colored pencils if you want, but we're first going to just start with a pencil. So the first thing we're going to do is start in the middle, kind of find your corners. See if I can go up a little bit more. All right, so find the corners of your papers. So if you can see, I'm kind of, and kind of go to the middle. Here's the middle. Now I'm going to kind of go up in a line really lightly. Now I'm going lightly, and I know you guys can barely see that. So I'm going to go in with a darker color. You still can't see it. I'm actually going to shift and do a Sharpie, but you're doing this in pencil, but I'm going to do Sharpie so that you can see what I'm drawing. Okay, so I'm going to go up, and you can tell it's not perfectly straight. It doesn't need to be. Leaves don't have perfectly straight lines. So just kind of trace a line from about corner to corner. And then that's going to be the center of our leaf. The center of our leaf. All right, so then up here at the center, we're going to kind of come down like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, remember? And then I'm going to kind of just do some waves. Just kind of down here. So we're going to leave some space. We'll come back and connect those later. Remember, you're using a pencil, so you can always come back and adjust. And then on the opposite side, I'm going to do some more waves, kind of get bigger. And then I'm going to kind of bring mine in a little skinnier on this side. Okay. Now, if you've ever looked at leaves, they have what I like to call veins inside of the leaves. So they make little patterns. So I'm going to go from the center line straight out and just make some sections into my leaf pattern. Okay. Now, usually the lines on the leaves make V's. So we're just going to come back and make them straight across from each other. They don't have to have the same amount of space. Like this space doesn't match this one, but they point at the same place. Okay. So our lines come off from each other in nature. Okay, and then I'm going to do another one right here. And I'm actually going to have to extend my line. And I'm going to bring this in, bring my swirly line down into my stem. And remember, at any time, if I'm going too fast, you can pause the video and adjust. And you can adjust your work. Okay. So once you have the leaves the way you want them, we're going to now, I think I might actually add another one right in here. So you've got your sections the way you want them. And now I'm going to grab my crayons. So think about the colors that we use in fall. So I've got a brown here, orange, a red, like a burnt orange, even green. Here's some really great fall colors. We also often see a lot of pinks and purples in fall because as the red fades into brown, sometimes it turns into like that dark purpley color or even a pink into a red. So fall is really beautiful in nature. So just grab all of the warm or cool colors that you would like to see. There are even some that look blue. So just grab the colors that you want to use and just kind of set them to the side. And what we're going to be doing is in each one of these sections, we're just going to make some abstract art. Now, you don't want to fill in with too much crayon because we are going to go back in with watercolor. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to make some simple little dots. And this one, my pattern inside is going to be dots. But then on this side, I'm going to use a different color and I'm going to make some lines. so that when I go back in and paint, the wax will keep it from being whatever color. Okay. See, I think I'm going to switch. I'm going to do mine from like warm down into cool. So I've got red, orange, yellow, blue, green. So I'm going to do orange next. You can choose to do whatever color you'd like. I'm going to do orange. On this orange one, I think I'm going to make some stars. And then I'm going to do a different color that's orange. And I think I'm going to do some swirlies. You can pick whatever pattern you'd like. Just have fun with it. If you want to do boxes or triangles, just whatever shape you want. I think I want another triangle on this one. All right, so then in these two, so red, orange, yellow, I'm going to grab a yellow and red, orange, yellow, blue, green. Here is a yellow. So I've got a yellow green, a traditional green. And then I wonder if I can find like a blue green. All right. So I'm going to do the yellow first. And in the yellow, I'm going to do, maybe some boxes. Instead of polka dots, I'm just going to do boxes. We have a lot to color here. So I'm actually going to do yellow green boxes over here. You can make a pattern. Yellow. After yellow, we fade into green. So I'm going to find like a lime green or a light green. And I'm just going to do zigzags like this. You can use the same pattern as me, or you can choose your own. But remember, don't color it in, because then when you go back to paint, you won't have anything to paint. Remember, if you make a mistake, just keep going. You can always do this a second time. There's always more paper in our classroom. Then I'm going to go in with some darker ones.
With different kinds of patterns.
You can do the patterns any way that you would like to do your patterns. So after green, I'm going to see if I can find a really dark green. I don't know that I can. I don't know that I have one. So I'm going to fade into blue. I do have a really dark, well, I have like a blue-green color pencil. So maybe I'm going to do this one blue and green. So this is all about just making it really fun and artistic, because it's just to represent the beauty that we see in all of the colors out in the leaves in nature. And I've done a lot of boxy things. So I think I'm going to do that. I was saying over here, but then I think I'm going to go back to some swirls. So then I'm going to do some blue. Remember to leave space for when you come back to do your watercolors. All right, so I've got those in. After blue, Roy G. Biv is the way that you can remember the rainbow. So I'm just going to show you my paper right here. Roy, R-O-Y-G, Biv, B-I-V. So Roy is red, orange, O-R-A-N-G-E. Y is yellow, Y-E-L-L-O-W. G obviously is green. Then we have blue, B-L-U-E. I is for indigo, which is like a deep, deep purple. Indigo. And then V is violet, which is a light purple. And these are the colors that naturally occur in nature. So I'll show that. It's not the best, but it's just how you can remember. Roy G. Biv is the rainbow. So if you remember that the rainbow's name is Roy G. Biv, that's how I remember it. So after blue, we have indigo or a dark, dark purple. So find some purples and you can do that if you'd like. You do not have to do the purples. That is just what I'm doing. You can do what makes you happy. And I actually don't have a purple crayon. How strange. I'm going to go find a purple crayon. So keep making your patterns. Hey, we're leaving space. All right, so remember not to color anything in because you want to leave space for the watercolor to show through. All right, so I found some purple and I'm going to go back and do some of these swirly ones. And some stars. And then here I'm going to do some bubbles, just like little circles. And because I kind of started with, up at the top, I started with like a dark or a light pink and kind of a purpley pink. So I'm going to throw in some dark red down here. I'm going to fade in to get that fall color that I want. And I'm going to go back and add in some, I'm adding red up in here to my orange. Okay, so once you have it the way you want it, you're going to think about your time. If you have enough time to prep your watercolors, then you can go ahead and put away, if you want, you can grab maybe a white crayon or some other, you can do some other things around. And actually, I think I might write something on mine in crayon. And I think I'm just going to write the word fall. So we can write happy fall. So I think maybe I'll write happy fall. So I've been learning cursive. We just learned the letter H in lowercase. I'm going to go up and down. Remember to use your pencil first, then trace over with crayon. H, A, P, P, Y, happy. And then down here in the bottom, I think I have enough space to write fall. Fall is going to start to the lowercase f, F, and down, and A, L, L. Happy fall, just something very simple. And because I really love yellow and sunsets, I think I'm going to take my yellow crayon here. And I'm just going to make some accents around my words. So you can fill your background with shapes. You can think about how you would want your sunset, or maybe you have little tiny leaves all around in your back. I think I might draw some tiny leaves. I'm going to use my green, and I'm just going to go back and make some little leaves. So, go. Just making little leaves. The leaves are kind of like little raindrops. So I'm going to go zoom in so you can try to see how I make these leaves. I kind of start here and I go around, up, like a teardrop almost, and then back down. You can make them skinny. And I'm really good at making them all like with a point at the top. So I'm going to turn my paper upside down to make some look like they're going the opposite way. So you might be really good at making them the other way. So you just decide what works best for you and then turn your paper to make it. Now, remember, you're using your pencil first. You can always go back and erase, try again. Then you can trace over with your crayon, or you can just make happy accidents and just make something beautiful out of what you do with your crayon. It doesn't have to be perfect. Art is just beautiful. The way that you make it is the way that we'll see beauty in it. Got a little space right here. And I'm actually not going to color my leaves right now. I'm not going to put anything in them because I'm just going to wait and do that with the watercolors. All right, so when I'm looking at my paper, looks pretty good. I feel like I need a little bit of more leaves right here. But for the most part, I feel like this looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and prep my watercolors. And you can pause the video and prep yours. And we'll come back together. You need watercolors, a small cup, and a paintbrush.